Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to start chapter 13, Watson-Crick model of DNA. So Watson and Crick discovered three-dimensional structure of the DNA by using X-ray diffraction pictures taken by Wilkins and Franklin's. For this discovery, they got a Nobel Prize. So it is the milestone in the history of the molecular biology where the structure of the DNA has been described in a great details. So one by one we are going to study the detailed structure of DNA as discovered by Watson and Crick. DNA is the largest macromolecule that represent the genetic material of the cell. So as you know that the DNA is a nucleic acid that is found in the nucleus of the cell. It is one of the largest macromolecule that determine heredity of the living organism. Chemically, DNA is a double helix of two anti-parallel polynucleotide chains. In the previous chapter, we studied the constituents of the DNA. DNA is made up of a chain of nucleotides. So nucleotides are the building blocks of the DNA. Nucleotides are made up of nitrogen base, deoxyribose sugar and phosphoric acid. So chemically DNA is a double helix of two anti-parallel polynucleotide chains. So two polynucleotide chains are wrapped around one another to form a stable double helix. Each polynucleotide chain is a linear mixed polymer of 4 deoxyribonucleotides, that is deoxyadenylate, deoxyguanylate, deoxycytidylate and deoxythymidylate. So these are the individual nucleotides that makes a polynucleotide chain. So DNA possesses deoxyribose sugar. So the nucleotides present in the DNA are deoxyribonucleotides. These are deoxyadenylate, deoxyguanylate, deoxycytidylate and deoxythymidylate. In 1953, American biologist J.D. Watson and British physicist F.H.C. Crick proposed the three-dimensional model of physiological DNA, that is the B form of the DNA, on the basis of X-ray diffraction data of DNA obtained by Franklin and Wilkins. For this epoch-making discovery, Watson, Crick and Wilkins got Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1962. The term DNA was given by Zacchaeus. So this is the history of the DNA. So this term DNA was given by Zacchaeus, while Watson and Crick discovered the three-dimensional structure of the DNA by using X-ray diffraction pictures given by Franklin and Wilkins. So for this epic-making discovery, Watson, Crick and Wilkins got Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1962. Now the important features of Watson-Crick model or double helix model of DNA. So Watson and Crick discovered the three-dimensional structure of the DNA. So in this figure we can see the structure of the DNA. Here we can see the two polynucleotide chains wrapped around each other to form a stable double helix. One polynucleotide chain, that we say it is a one strand, it is run in 5:3 direction, while its complementary strands run in 3:5 direction. So both the strands of the DNA are anti-parallel to each other. The two strands are held together by means of a hydrogen bond between the nitrogen bases. So here one by one we are going to study the important features of Watson-Crick model of the DNA or a double helix model of the DNA. The DNA molecule consists of two polynucleotide chains or strands that spirally twisted around each other and coiled around a common axis to form a right-handed double helix. So here we can see the two polynucleotide chains or strands that are spirally twisted around each other. They are coiled around a common axis. Here a central line that we call it as a common axis. So these two strands are coiled around this common axis to form a right-handed double helix. So the meaning of the right-handed double helix is that if we consider the DNA double helix is a spiral staircase and you are climbing up, then sugar phosphate backbone is on your right hand side. So this is a right-handed double helix. So the structure given here is the B form of the DNA that was discovered by Watson and Crick. So according to the Watson and Crick, the DNA molecule consists of two polynucleotide chains or strands that spirally twisted around each other and coiled around a common axis to form a right-handed double helix. The two strands are antiparallel, means they run in opposite direction. So the third prime end of one strand facing the fifth prime end of the other strand. In other way, we can say that one strand run in 5:3 direction while its opposite strand run in 3:5 direction. So the two strands of the DNA are said to be anti-parallel. If we see the ends of these two strands, the fifth prime end of one strand facing the third prime end of the other strand. So these two strands of the DNA are anti-parallel. The sugar phosphate backbone remains on the outside. So here is the sugar phosphate backbone which is on the outside, while the core of the helix contains the purines and pyrimidine bases. So there are four nitrogen bases: adenine, guanine, these are the purines; cytosine, thymine, these are the pyrimidine. So the bases which are the flat molecules bases, more popularly these are the nitrogen bases. The nitrogen bases are the flat molecule. They are faces inwards towards the center and arranged like a neat pile of the coin. So sugar phosphate backbone remains on the outside, while the core or the central portion of the helix contain the purine and pyrimidine bases, that is adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine. Next to this is the two strands are held together by means of hydrogen bonds between purine and pyrimidine bases of the opposite strand. So here these two strands are held together by means of a hydrogen bond between the nitrogen bases, both purine and pyrimidine bases. So G binds with C by means of 3 hydrogen bond, T binds with A by means of 2 hydrogen bond, or vice versa. The base composition of DNA obey Chargaff's rule, according to which A pairs with T by 2 hydrogen bonds and G pairs with C by 3 hydrogen bonds. That means A plus G is equal to C plus T, means purines are equal to the pyrimidines. Also A plus C is equal to G plus T. It also states that the ratio of A plus T and G plus C is constant for a species, and that has been ranges from 0.4 to 1.9. So this is the Chargaff's rule that we seen in the previous chapter also. If you see the base composition of the DNA, it obey the Chargaff's rule. So according to which adenine pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds and guanine pairs with cytosine by 3 hydrogen bond and vice versa. So due to this, purines are equals to the pyrimidines, means purines, adenine, guanine, pyrimidine, cytosine, thymine. So A plus G is equal to C plus T. Also A plus C is equal to G plus T, and the ratio it is constant for a species. The ratio of A plus T and G plus C is constant for a species. If we see the diameter of the helix, it is 20 angstrom. Here is the diameter of the helix, which is 20 angstrom or 2 nanometer. The adjacent bases are separated by 3.4 angstrom apart along the helix axis and rotation of bases at 36 degrees. So the distance between the two adjacent bases, it is 3.4 angstrom. Therefore, the helical structure repeats after every 10 residues on each chain, that is at an interval of 34 angstrom. So, DNA executed turn at a distance of 34 angstrom, and each turn of the helix possesses 10 nucleotides. So the distance between the adjacent nucleotides is 3.4 angstrom. Thus each turns of the helix contain 10 nucleotide residues. What it? Diameter of the helix is 20 angstrom. DNA execute a turn at a distance of 34 angstrom. Each turn of the helix consists of 10 nucleotides. So the distance between adjacent nucleotide is 3.4 angstrom. Okay. Next to this is the two chains are held together by the hydrogen bond between the nitrogen bases. Adenine pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds, while guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bonds. This specific position in one of the bases is called complementarity. So the two strands of the DNA are complementary to each other. Suppose a one strand possesses adenine, on its opposite strand it should have thymine. Suppose if one strand possesses guanine, its opposite strand consists of cytosine and vice versa. Okay, so this base pairing, it is called as complementary base pairing. The individual hydrogen bonds which are weak but stabilize the DNA double helix. The hydrogen bonds are exist between the nitrogen bases. Adenine pairs with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds, while guanine pairs with cytosine with 3 hydrogen bond. So this specific position in these nitrogen bases, it is called as complementarity. The sequence of bases along polynucleotide chain is not restricted in any way. The precise sequence of bases carries the specific genetic information. So the sequence in the form of nucleotides are useful for carrying the specific genetic information. The two chains of the DNA are complementary to each other. That is, one chain is oriented in 3 to 3' to 5' direction. More precisely, it is 3' OH to 5' phosphate direction, and other in 5' to 3 direction. So the 3' end of one chain lies close or faces close to the 5' end of the other chain. Hence, two chains are considered as antiparallel. The DNA molecule thus looks like a ladder or spiral staircase. The sugar phosphate form the backbone, while base pairs form the horizontal steps. Nucleotides are joined together between sugars and phosphate by phosphodiester bond. So the individual nucleotides are joined to each other by means of a phosphodiester bond. More precisely, it is 3,5 phosphodiester bond, where the 3' carbon of one nucleotide is involved with the 5' carbon of the adjacent nucleotide. So the bond exists between the two adjacent nucleotides is 3,5 phosphodiester bond. So the individual nucleotides in a polynucleotide chain are joined to each other by means of a 3,5 phosphodiester bond. The nitrogen bases on the other side are linked with the pentose sugar by glycosidic bond. So that we seen in the previous chapter also. These nitrogen bases are attached to the both purines and pyrimidines are attached to the pentose sugar, that is the deoxyribose sugar, by means of a glycosidic bond. Thus single DNA may contain several thousand nucleotide pairs. So the DNA molecule thus looks like a ladder or a spiral staircase, where the sugar phosphate form the backbone, while the nitrogen bases, which are flat molecule, present in the core of the helix. Individual nucleotides are joined to each other by means of a 3,5 phosphodiester bond, while the nitrogen bases are linked to the deoxyribose sugar by glycosidic bond. Now the types of DNA. So various types or the forms of the DNA are exist under different set of physiological conditions. So these different types of the DNA or the forms of the DNA shows variation with reference to the length of the helix, diameter of the helix, number of base pairs per turn, twisting angle of helix, major and minor grooves length, etc. There are three major types of DNA in addition to some minor variants. The form of the DNA is supposed to be most stable, which was proposed by Watson and Crick. But some X-ray analysis of DNA crystal has revealed that DNA exhibits the two more form, that is A and Z. So the form that we explained here is the B form of the DNA as proposed by Watson and Crick. The different forms of the DNA are occur under different set of physiological conditions, and these different types or the form of the DNA shows variations with reference to the length of the helix, diameter of the helix, number of bases per turn, twisting angle of helix, major and minor grooves length. So one by one we are going to study the different form of the DNA. So two more form of the DNA in addition to the B form are A and Z form. So first one we are going to study the B form of the DNA. So this form of the DNA, that is the B form, was proposed by Watson and Crick as a right-handed DNA. It is biologically most important and metabolically more stable configuration of the form of the DNA. So B form of the DNA is right-handed DNA, and it is biologically most important and metabolically more stable configuration. The length of the helix in B form is 34 angstrom. It contains 10 base pair per turn. The rise of the helix per base pair is 3.37 angstrom. The tilt of the base pair is 63 angstrom. The diameter of the DNA molecule is 20 angstrom. So the different forms of the DNA that exist under different physiological conditions differs or shows variation with respect to the length of the helix, diameter of the helix, number of base pairs per turn of the helix. So here B form of the DNA having a length of 34 angstrom. It contains 10 base pairs per turn. The rise of the helix per base pair is 3.37 angstrom. The diameter of the DNA molecule is 20 angstrom. The B form of DNA occurs at relative humidity lower than 92% and at low ionic strength solution of salt. Next is the A form of DNA. So the A form of the DNA having a length of the helix is 28.15 angstrom. It contains 11 base pairs per turn. This is also right-handed form of the DNA. So A form and the B form both are the right-handed form of the DNA. The length of the helix in A form of the DNA is 28.15 angstrom. It contains 11 base pairs per turn. The bases are considerably tilted from the axis of the helix with the axial rise of per base pair at about 2.50 angstrom. So the distance between the adjacent nucleotide, it is 2.50 angstrom, while in case of B form of the DNA it is 3.37 angstrom, while in case of A form of the DNA it is 2.50 angstrom. Due to this displacement, the depth of the major grooves is increased and that of the minor groove is decreased. The form of the DNA occurs under special experimental conditions, that is at 75% relative humidity and high ionic strength of sodium, cesium, potassium ions. The helical diameter is 23 angstrom. So this A form of the DNA occurs under special experimental conditions. So which are the conditions? This A form of the DNA occurs at 75% relative humidity and a high ionic strength of sodium, cesium and potassium ions. The length of the helix is 28.15 angstrom. It contains 11 base pairs per turn. The distance between the adjacent nucleotides is 2.50 angstrom and the diameter of the helix is 23 angstrom. The last one form of the DNA, that is the Z form. So this Z form DNA is also known as rDNA. It is the left-handed form of the DNA. A and B form of the DNA are right-handed, while this Z form of the DNA, it is left-handed and takes its zigzag sugar phosphate backbone structure. This form of DNA exists in a solution of high ionic salt concentration, for example 2 molar sodium chloride solution. It occupies 12 base pair per turn. The base pairs are considerably tilted and the angle of twist per repeating units is 60 degree. The length of the helix is 45 angstrom. The zDNA is believed to occur within the cellular DNA. It is evident that it is present in Drosophila chromosome. The diameter of the helix is 18.4 angstrom, while vertical rise per base pair is 3.37 angstrom. The DNA, that is the Z form of the DNA, execute a turn at a distance of 44 angstrom. Each turn of the helix possesses 12 base pairs. So the distance between the adjacent nucleotides, it is 3.37 angstrom. Some other variant forms of the types of the DNA may be occurred. For example, cDNA at 60% relative humidity and under lithium ionic condition, which has 9.33 base pair per turn. As right-handed narrow form of the DNA, D and E form of the DNA are variants that contain 8 and 7.5 base pair per turn respectively. They found only rarely in some molecules which lack guanine. So these other forms of the DNA, that is the cDNA, ddNA, E form of the DNA, these are the variants which are occurred under specific condition. The cDNA at 60% relative humidity and under lithium ionic condition and which has 9.33 base pair per turn. While D and E form of the DNA are also the variants that contain 8 and 7.5 base pair per turn respectively, and they found only rarely in some molecules which lack guanine. So these are the different types of the DNA. B form of the DNA, A form of the DNA, which are right-handed, and the third one is the Z form of the DNA. It is left-handed and takes its zigzag sugar phosphate backbone structure. Okay, now the difference between the different types of the DNA. Here on the left hand side we can see the characteristics and the different forms of the DNA, that is the B form, A form and Z form. So the first characteristic is the condition. This B form of the DNA occurs at 92% relative humidity and low ionic strength, while A form of the DNA occurs at the condition of 75% relative humidity and presence of sodium, potassium and cesium ions, while the last one, that is the Z form, occurs at very high ionic strength. Next characteristic is the helix sense. B form, it is right-handed. A form is also right-handed, while only the Z form, it is left-handed. Next characteristic is the base pairs per turn. So B form of the DNA execute a turn consists of 10 execute a turn at 10 nucleotides, means the base pairs per turn are 10 in case of B form, while in case of A form it is 11, while in case of Z form the number of base pairs per turn are 12. So 10, 11 and 12 nitrogen bases per turn are exist in the B form, A form and Z form of the DNA respectively. Now the vertical rise per base pair means the distance between the adjacent nucleotides. So in case of B form it is 3.4 angstrom, in case of A form it is 2.56 angstrom and in Z form it is 3.71 angstrom. Now the rotation per base pair, it is plus 36 degree. Here in A form it is plus 33 degree, while in Z form it is minus 30 degree. Helix diameter in B form it is 20 angstrom. For A form it is 23 angstrom and in Z form it is 18 angstrom. So these are the various differences between the types of the DNA, that is B form, A form and Z form. So this is all for today. In this way we finish our 13th chapter, that is the Watson-Crick model of the DNA. So in this chapter we studied the different characteristics or the important features of the Watson-Crick model of the DNA or double helix of the DNA. So the DNA structure that was described by Watson and Crick is the B form of the DNA. So it gives detailed information of the structure of the DNA. Next point that we studied is the various types of the DNA, that is the B form of the DNA, A form of the DNA and Z form of the DNA. In addition to this, we also studied the difference between the types of the DNA, that is B form, A form and Z form of the DNA. Okay, thank you. Stay home, be safe.